Brethren, I pray you sing to the Lord a new song. Sing praise in the assembly of the righteous. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud on their beds. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishments on those peoples, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute on them this written judgment. This honor have all his saints. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Sing to him a new song. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
All these pains in the world. How long? Oh, tell me, how
All praises to the Most High, the great Elohim of Israel. Shalom and blessings to all my brothers and sisters, my kinsmen according to the flesh who are Israelites, to whom pertain the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of Elohim, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, our Mashiach came, who is over all Elohim blessed. Hope all is good and well. I don't know. Hold on. Let's stream. Okay. I was trying to stream to my Facebook, but for some reason it won't let me edit it to show it public. It only let me show it private to where I could only see it. I don't know what kind of sense that makes. I usually can edit them, but for some reason I couldn't edit the video to make it public. And I don't know why the intro was cut short. This internet really starting to piss me off, but in any case, we all good. Hope y'all doing good. We're going to be doing part 2. Israel is getting reparations. What's going on, Brother Kadar, Brother Josiah?
Shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High Yah. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you.
The last time was messing up pretty bad. All praise to the Most High Yah. Thanking the Yah for the Messiah dying for our sins, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Negroes scattered abroad. Y'all in the chat, brothers on the panels, ready to get it in. I'm ready to get paid and get up out of here. I don't know about y'all.
Indeed.
Same here. Peace and shalom to the nation of Israel, scattered abroad, the Negroes. Grace and peace to the brothers on the panel, to the family in the chat. All praise to the Most High. Let's get it.
Indeed. If y'all in the chat, go ahead, like and subscribe. Go ahead and do that now. Get that out the way. Appreciate y'all for that. We want to try to get both of the platforms to 1,000. Kadar's the Resurrecting the Truth. We already at 1,000, so we appreciate that. We trying to get T.I.R. at 1,000. We like 5 or 6 subscription short. And so y'all go ahead and take care of that. Sister Pissy Lola, shalom. Good to see you in the chat, sis. We got Robert Yellick Sr., shalom. Good to see you, Brother Robert. Aniana Coleman, shalom. Good to see you. Zuriah Bat Yisrael, shalom. Good to see you in the chat. Sister Regina, shalom to you. Good to see you in the chat. Shibriya, my love, shalom. As always, good to see you. Immuna Pure, shalom. Good to see you in the chat. Brother Earl, shalom. Good to see you, Brother Earl. Hope all is well. Got Brother Yohanan, shalom. Good to see you in the chat. As always, let me see. 12 TJC, shalom. Good to see you in the chat. Seeking Truth, shalom to you. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, man. So, like I say, man, I don't know what's wrong with this stuff, man. It's, you know, I started not to try to stream to, let me try to do something real quick. Remove this destination, a post. Yeah, delete. Because this the thing, man. It's, you know, it's one thing for them to shadow ban and everything, but now it's like I can't even do stuff I usually do all of a sudden. But it's all good. What's going on, Brother Yash?
All I got to say is shalom, shalom. Great to be in the house. But yeah, the shadow banning and everything else that's going on is real. You know what I mean? They see that everything's going down and trying to cause a whole bunch of confusion. Just stay focused and concentrate on the mission for the most part. We're gonna see some things, I believe. I believe we're gonna see some big things coming up for the Most High. We're just only gonna do it big. Shalom to all the family out there. Stay cool. That's all I can say. If you sweltering like I am on this East Coast, stay cool. Try to stay cool. It's hot as heck out
here. Yeah, for real. I want to, Brother Kadar say he got that video queued up. I want to, let me see. I want to read a couple of scriptures before we get into it, just to set the tone. Reparations. All right. One thing I want to say about reparations is that by definition, reparation implies a restoration of something to a people who was done wrong, right? Reparations implies a restoration or a recompense to a people who suffered wrongdoing. So anybody who say reparations is a handout, you can go to hell if you don't repent, as far as I'm concerned, because that's stupid. All right. A handout is something that is given to you for free, for nothing, that you have no accountability for. Like, for instance, when foreigners come over here and can get grants and access to wealth to open up businesses in the Black communities, those are handouts. When you can go to the government and get a grant for something, free money, that's a handout. All right. Reparations is a debt owed. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. It didn't say money. When they go to these other nations, what are they getting and taking from these other nations? They taking gold, they taking resources, right? Look at all the gold that France and England took from Africa that they saying they need to give it back says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, cry it, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of Yahweh of hosts. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahweh. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth and had long patience for it until he received the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of Adonai draweth nigh. Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth at the door. Take, my brethren, the prophets who have spoken in the name of Yahweh for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. Y'all got any thoughts?
I'll say also, um, it's so much we're going to get paid back when we look at that, what you was reading, right? Um, even everything we lost, even our inheritance, we're going to get back. That's a part of reparations, being restored. Um, being reconciled back to the Most High, that's a part of reparations, being restored. So I am looking forward to it, but when we look at that, right, how do the Gentiles that's never been with the Most High, never got the curses on them, how do they fit as in this reparations? How can they fit in it? Because you remember, you got people out here saying they can be saved. That means they can get reparations too? It's a question to ask.
Well, I'll say they got theirs up front. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to E earlier about even going back as far as the 14th Amendment. You know, where they look at it and, you know, they say, well, that makes us citizens, but they said in anybody or everybody. You know what I mean? So even in the very beginning, once they included everybody, the first ones who got the reparations was the slave master. And it's been that way ever since, all the way down. And with this immigration, all they've been doing is just bringing in new people. They've been bringing in more and more different people to give them our reparations so that they didn't have to look at us. That's what that is. And the Most High said, no, y'all gonna pay. Now it's time for them to howl, but it's time for them to, what do you say, ooze out their riches.
I want to read Ezekiel 33 and 15. It says, if the wicked restore the plague, give again that he hath robbed, walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, he shall not die. So the key part is that if the wicked restore the plague, have America restored us, yes or no?
No. That's a big if. As soon as you said if the wicked restore,
No?
I started laughing.
And the reparation,
Yeah.
Yep.
restore,
Hmm.
That's the last thing they want to do. But they say none saith restore. Now they want to try to probably try to do this. We was their main resource. Now they're about to give us all of their resources. Them and every other country, every other nation that had something to do. All of it.
That's the thing about it. You know what they trying to do. That's why they try to either get rid of it or try to switch the focus. Now you got all of this sideline information about whether the transatlantic slave trade really happened or not. Now all of a sudden it's the land, you know, and it's all to take away from the fact that y'all owe the Most High's people, man. Just like the destruction he gonna bring, he said it's the vengeance of his temple. They never, ever since we came here, man, they used us to build up their nation. That's why we were brought here, to build up their nation. The Most High laid everything out that would happen. He knew they would treat us this way. And people say, well, if he knew what kind of God would know that would happen and still allow it to happen. It's no different from your parent laying something out and telling you, hey, if you do this, this, or that, this is what's going to happen to you. This is what they going to do to you. Right? It's going to happen. Right? It's the same difference. That don't mean that me as a father or your overseer or whatever, that don't mean I'm not going to take vengeance for what they did, but I'm going to let you know ahead of time or aforetime, this is what's going to happen as a result. Now, if you put yourself in this situation, right, I ain't gonna be there to save you in the moment because you was disobedient, but I will come and avenge you. But this is what's going to happen as a result of you disobeying me. And so ever since we've been here, that's what it's been. Work for free, no pay. The wealth that we did have, they took it. You know what I mean? The generational wealth that could have benefited us, now they took it, and now they look at us and say, y'all don't have a culture, y'all don't have no wealth. And they don't even tell us the history of the times when our people had wealth, land and different things like that, things that could have transitioned down to us today. Now it's in the possession of our enemies. Y'all, Kadar, you got that video? Went streaming to a profile. No, I don't want to learn more. Get out the way. Kadar. Is Kadar, can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me.
I can hear you, man.
Y'all,
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Here you go.
Y'all can hear you. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I kind of got a delay on my part.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you just fine. You got
Yeah.
the video?
I hear you.
Yeah. Let me go to it and share it. You see it?
Yeah.
Did it
No,
come
that's
up? Hold up.
It popped up for a second.
Okay. See it? Got it?
Yeah.
Hey, brother E, you got a delay, bro?
No, I don't.
You want me to start sharing it? Play
It's
it.
already up. Yeah.
It's up. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, fair use. This is a debate on what's going on with the AU and reparations.
that welcome home, but I have to pay the foreigner price when I go do safaris in Kenya, right? Because there's the local price and then there's the foreign price, right? Every everything that matters and counts, you won't put it in writing, but then you tell me welcome home. So absolutely, this is just another slavery play. This is just another play to try to take away our blessing, right? And what the scripture says, right? A fool and his money will soon be departed, right? So at the end of the day, we have to take this as a blessing. We have to thank the Most High because at the end of the day, we're seeing who our enemies are. We're not going to be caught up in a delusion. And for the folks that are us that's saying like, oh, don't worry about it. No, you have to worry about it. You have to worry about it, right? The Most High is going to take care of us. We have to trust in the prophecies, right? So going over to Africa, like I think it's a bit premature because at the end of the day, right? There's nothing in writing that's safeguarding and protecting us, and we need that. So I would say, I'm not saying not go to Africa. You can still go there. You can because I go there a lot. Can still do business and things like that. But this is not prophecy. This is not the great exodus to go into the wilderness. It's none of that.
Hey, pause
It's
that for a
just
second.
we're just going there because it's just a nice place.
Okay. I want to say something. Okay. And this, it just hit me. Excuse me. For years, like 2007, 8, 5, 6. When I was first coming into this knowledge and I was explaining it to some people and because I was amongst Christians, if I knew that they couldn't handle it, I told them all you need is to know one thing. When they come and tell us we got to go back to Africa, I said all you need to know is choose our people. Go. I said if you stay here, you will die. I've been saying it for years. And what I'm listening to is uh, people that have no foresight. And I'm listening to our ancestors who was in the wilderness who came back and gave an evil report.
Mm.
This is what it sounds like to me. Not that because the fact is, I was ready. Where is it? Is it Jeremiah 30? He tells us um, the place where he took us from is the place that he's taken us back to. The point is, see, and if you've been watching it, see, this is what's so crazy. And this is what's so beautiful, actually. Because if you're watching this and not trying to decipher it, or at least this is the way I do it, and the only reason the reason I do it like this is because I've been seeking for so long that I I went from the place of looking for it to living it. And that's where we all should be about now. We're actually living out the prophecy. And we're seeking for something that is happening and being fulfilled every day before our eyes. The only thing that about it is it's not going the way we expected. And he said, I have not seen, neither ear has not heard, neither has it even entered into the heart of man the things that I have planned for him. And I believe that even includes this awakening and our deliverance. Back to the point, though, you see how everything that they seem to be coming up, these laws, because really all these laws and all these firing people and all this really was meant for us. But they finding out, going back to the 14th Amendment, when they said in anybody or everybody, And then they put everybody up in front of us. Now it's hurting everybody except us. We got the brunt of this beating in the beginning. Our beating down is over with. But the point, what I'm saying is, because I done went off on a tangent, excuse me, y'all. The, the, we don't need to worry about what's going on. Africa now gives us a land. Whether the wilderness is in Africa or not. When we leave, there is a designated, or they have established a designated place for us other than America and the places where we are scattered at. And by doing that, now it binds them to have to pay us. The whole world has to pay us reparations, because the only thing that was holding us back was were a people without a land, and they've already established the land for it. And we need to look and see that the Most High is maybe working out things behind the scene. That's all I gotta say.
Anything else before I start back, y'all? Anybody else got something to say? Yeah, they'll trip about this African thing. Fair use.
Now go ahead.
Place to go, right? This is not prophecy, and I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you, Hot Sauce. Thank you, Hot Sauce. Jew, is that how I'm pronouncing your name right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing? How everybody doing? I don't know if my mic is good. Is it good? I don't be on here like this. It's like probably my second time using this. Is my mic okay? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I think first I just want to say, I'm a descendant of American shadow slavery. Man, I think I'm gonna take a humble approach. I'm not here to say I know everything, but I know what what I can read. And then I just want to first talk about the African Union and what they're doing. I know you done mentioned a lot of different things, but I won't go into all of them. Maybe it does tie into what I'm gonna say about the African Union, but just specifically about the African Union and their approach to what they're talking about with the reparation. So I've been to the website and I read what they had to say. So for the people who didn't read what they had to say, first I want to talk to y'all. If y'all didn't read it, don't think nothing. Be humble, because you might have missed something if you didn't read it. So just be humble before you get too emotional. For the people who's Native Americans think they're Native Americans, I mean, you didn't even come from Africa, so I don't think you're really a part of this conversation, because the scriptures talks about, the people that's over here in America coming here on slave ships from Africa. But if that's not you, you shouldn't even be having anything to say right now either. Okay. Sister E, I know, again, like you said a lot of things, but I probably won't be able to address all those things. But this is also for you, Sister E, and for the listeners. So when I read on the AU website, it didn't say anything about them stealing our reparations. I didn't read that line. I read, let's see, I mean, it was actually impressive, when you click and you look on the sources. I heard some people talking about, oh, they got an Cobra source. Yeah, I know Cobra is a Democratic Shield organization, but they wasn't really coding for Cobra. So you can't be listening to everybody talking. You got to go see what the source that they use from Cobra is talking about. The Cobra source is talking.
Yeah.
Is this the guy that she got snotty with?
Yeah.
I can tell. Yeah. Yeah.
But his brother, he talking some common sense. He researched.
He went and read it.
Yeah.
And she didn't read it all, but she gonna watch how she at. This is really crazy. Like, hey, why is she getting this mad over this? I don't understand. I really don't.
And you know what's so funny? We of all people ought to know that the news that we got over here was always lies. All they ever do is lie. That's all they ever do is lie and hide the facts and twist the truth. That's all they do. And like I say, I don't care anybody you say you ain't here. Guess what? At the end of the day, when the Most High come to get us, He says, "I'm taking all of you." He said, "I left not one of them there." So if you are left here, you was not one of us. You was deceived. Facts. Facts. And I ain't saying He taking us to Africa either, because I don't know where the wilderness is gonna be. But we're gonna have to leave, and believe me, it's gonna be put out there like we going to Africa. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what they gonna say. Africa. I don't I don't I don't know if we'll arrive there. He has a place prepared for us. But that's the buzzword. That's why I'm out. That's why I'm passionate about this. We might not go there, but they damn sure gonna tell us we going there.
Most definitely that. Fair use.
all of those folks, and you click on that link, it'll show you that we was included in it. Um, so so yeah, you got to go look at it for yourself for sure.
One
Um,
second.
so
Let me pause you right here. We
oh,
did a
okay,
long segment on a couple days ago. Y'all remember when we did that segment? We read the objective line by line. A thief ain't gonna tell you they a thief. A thief ain't gonna tell you they're gonna steal your money. They're gonna utilize words that are gonna mask what they really mean. Have you fully read it? Because I fully
yeah,
read
yeah,
it. We read it on
definitely, yeah. A thief might tell you they'll steal it, but they might tell you they'll steal it. If you can read
a thief
into it,
ain't
see,
gonna
yeah, you do have to read in between the lines, and you can pick up on some stuff,
tell you.
But
Thief
here's
ain't
the
gonna tell
thing,
you.
though.
Jude,
Hold on,
thief ain't
sister,
gonna tell you. 1 second.
I'm not gonna. Okay.
A thief ain't gonna tell you they're a thief. Let's just be honest. Thief ain't gonna tell you they a thief.
So what are they gonna say? Like, that's
They
what I'm
gonna
saying.
they
You
so
gotta read in between the lines. You gotta. A thief might not tell you right. A thief might not tell you they're a thief. But you have to. Have the African Union ever stole anything from you?
Though, let me tell you something, brother. Can I say something?
No,
yeah,
no, please,
okay.
y'all. Let me finish. See, that, yeah, I'm
Though,
the
let
only
me say
person that
something. Let
got
me
cut
say
off.
something.
I'm the
No,
only
no.
person that got
Though,
You
cut off.
didn't you
though, let me
pause?
say
1 second.
something. Let
Jude,
me
didn't you
say something. Let me
pause?
say.
One
Yeah, let me
second.
say something, brother.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. Didn't you pause for a second, Jude? Or
No,
do you
you
want to
said
continue?
you said you wanted to cut me off. So I was like,
No,
okay.
no. Let him finish. Let him finish. Yeah, yeah, is good because I want to give everybody an
Okay, yeah.
opportunity.
Let me just finish,
No,
y'all. No, I'm not here to argue. I got like about 3 more points. So this another thing. I'm gonna tell you. Here's the thing. So they're saying that we're the sixth region. Now, a lot of people. This is the thing. Y'all gotta keep up with what's going on, right, in the world, right. I understand what everybody's saying, how African Union been, how the African people have been, but it's a change in the world that's taking place. Everybody has had changes. You can't keep stuck in the past. Ibrahim Traore, I mean, even Mali, Niger, y'all don't see what's going on. So you can't hold them, you can't hold everything to the same standard. When they say they're creating a sixth region, right? That's new, right? What they doing is I'm not saying what they doing and what they not doing, okay? But what I'm saying is you this is something that we need to look into and not just turn our backs to automatically just because of the past, right? So when they say we the sixth region, perhaps they could be bringing us to the table, giving us descendants of American slavery a chance to talk and have leverage on the world stage that we ain't had before. We over here spinning our circles with the American government, but this gonna give us it could give us a bigger platform. I'm not saying whether it is or is not, but they are. It's they. Okay, how many of y'all listen to Covenant Awakenings on Curtis channel? This dude, okay, this dude, if you see this, what I'm saying, if you've been looking around and you had your eyes open, you would see what, you know what I'm saying, this sixth region, they have offered people of the diaspora, even of course Black Americans, to come up and be elected to these seats, be elected to these positions, so that we can have a voice in it as well. Why would you turn a back on that just because of something in the past, or they Africans or black? You know what I'm saying? No, they could be offering a seat, and matter of fact, that's what they said. They said that.
Who
So
is that?
now it's a chance for us to go up there and talk and say what we want. And they have not everything. It's nothing set in stone. It's nothing set in stone. Y'all, some people making it seem like, oh, it's already set up. They got their government set up. We got to come over and follow what
Hey,
they say. No, we don't have to follow what they say. They ain't got
who's
nothing
that?
set up.
Who's that?
They letting us come.
Hey,
Oh,
who's
the
that?
people. They is the people that's saying that we gotta listen to what they say. That's not what was said on the website.
You're not telling me they. If you look at this website, have you thoroughly read this? Because me and Pastor
Yeah,
Kelly,
yeah. I read the
hey,
3 objectives and I read the 20, the what they
okay.
got going to
So
what
let me chime in.
2063.
So let me chime in.
Okay.
Me and Pastor Kelly, and everybody can vouch. This is why I didn't go off of YouTube. This is why I didn't go off of TikTok. We sat with everybody and read line by line by line. Everything said take reparations and filter it to the member states. Filter reparations and filter it to the stakeholders. Filter reparation, receive reparations and filter it to everything but the individuals that receive reparation. Let's go to that line real quick and let's see what you get from it. I'm not gonna be hard on you, but we're gonna look at this and we're gonna talk through it. So developing an African common position, create a stance of reparation, incorporating input from experts, member states, and relevant stakeholders. What does that mean?
Okay, so what they saying is they're trying to bring people in who I can't see the screen. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Um I think did you do something to your screen? Because I can't. What you on 5, 6, 7? Where you at?
Here we go, right here. I'm making it big enough for you to see it.
You on number 3?
Number 3, read that for me.
Okay. Developing an African common position. So developing, meaning it's not set. They don't got
Read,
nothing set that
read that
we gotta
bullet.
come.
Read that bullet. Read the bullet.
Developing,
Read that
developing
bullet. No,
an
read the bullet
African
under
common
there.
position. Okay.
Under there. What does it say?
Create a unit. Create, not follow. Create a unified stance on a unified stance.
Pause.
Unified stance on reparation, incorporating input. Okay.
So when you say create a unified stance with my money that you give me, incorporating experts, member states, and relevant stakeholders, what does that mean to you?
Create a unified stance on reparations. So first of all, the money is not there yet. Nobody has got reparations yet. So we coming to the table before the reparations is even there. So we can put our input, we can create and unify, right, together on how the reparations and incorporating input, how it's actually going to come about and who the stakeholders are going to be and whatever. It's a unified stance and
Can
it's
I say
something that's
something?
being created. That's how I
Can I,
look at
can
it.
I can I say something real quick? I want to make just like 2 quick points, really quickly. So number 3 is talking about creating a policy, but number 4 is talking about what to do with the money. But I think everybody's kind of late to the table because in November 15, 2023, Africa talked about seeking reparations on slavery at the
Hey,
God
Kadar.
Conference back in 2023. So this African Union whole reparation things actually come back from November 15th,
Kadar.
2023, when I talked about this.
Yeah. Make the screen full. Yeah.
Years back. and in there they explicitly talk about what they want to use their money to boost their economies. So you're not going to actually
Okay,
find
you're
it
talking
anywhere.
about the Ghana. You're talking about the Ghana thing, right?
But this is where
That,
this
but
comes from.
you gotta go to this website and
No,
show
I'm
me
sorry.
where.
I'm sorry, sir. Well, I'm gonna do
Okay.
both. So I'm gonna do both actually. But before we even talk about the African Union, we have to talk about the Ghana Conference. When
No, I'm
Africa
talking about the African Union. I'm not talking
but,
about the Ghana Conference.
One
I'm
second,
sorry.
Jeanette.
just
One
calm
second.
down, calm down, calm
Jew,
down.
calm down. Listen.
No, it's
Ghana,
just y'all. I got something to do at 8:30. But come on.
but you got to understand the whole idea was sparked in November 23rd, November 15th, 2023. That sparked what we're looking at today.
You got that's not true because they got a source on there, a link on there talking about something since 1993.
So
That's not necessarily true, sir.
I put 4 links in the back chat for you to see to prove my point.
No, let's go to the website. We already on the website. So we talking about what the African Union
want
is.
to go back to other stuff that's not
Not
having the source.
I'm putting him down because I need him to listen.
Reverse
Okay,
speculation.
what's the next point? What's the next point?
Listen. Now, Drew, what you're gonna do is you're gonna listen. You stated your point. Everybody has been silent. Everybody has been silent. Ultimately, what we got from you is let's give it a chance. It seems as if they're gonna give us a seat at the table. We can be able to talk. They're not gonna steal our money. They just
I didn't say they wasn't gonna steal. I didn't say they wasn't gonna steal it. I'm saying we gotta go up there and we gotta see what it's about. I'm talking about for the people who automatically say, "Oh, they're stealing. Oh, they got this set up," when it ain't nothing set up even really yet. How many of y'all talk to the African Union?
But we can.
How many of y'all talk to them?
Let me say this. Let me say this.
I didn't get no. Who said yes?
One second. Hold on, Jew. Jew, let me.
See, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Jew, hold on one second. Hold on a second, Jew. I come from.
Let me say something. Let me say something.
Hold on. Let me say 1 second, everybody.
How's it, Kadar?
I come from politics. I grew up in politics.
Yeah.
Brother Yash, you was saying something?
I'm laughing. I didn't even know my speaker was on there because what I was saying is because they reverse twisting it. It's like my man is over here reading the facts, and you're pointing to something that they're going pointing back to the past of the ideal that sparked it. All I'm simply saying is, for me, right? I was like, we haven't seen anything as far as I don't take whatever they're saying and all this. I'm not, I don't take it as what I look at it is that we haven't heard anything being talking about that on the world scene. Once we sat our butts down and got out of their business, we ain't gotta ask. Now they talking about giving. At the end of the day, it don't matter whatever because all nations are gonna give into our bosom. And when we do get our things, he tells us whatever they give us, the gold and all everything else, because it's darn sure ain't no money. This world's money is gonna fail. But all the gold and the resources, he said, that come to us are for the building of the temple, even though it's coming down from heaven. So that's kind of maybe. So that must be if we be in the temple, it's for building us. I guess it do come back to us. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is coming. No matter what they say. And I just look at it as a spark, that a conversation that the Most High hasn't forgotten about us. Now the world is talking about it. And the U.S. is keeping it hush hush. And then I get shocked to see our people walking in fear. I don't look at what the world doing. I look what y'all do. And when I do look at it, or if I'm looking at the world, I look at what's coming.
We can't hear you, Brother Yash.
Oh yeah. What I'm saying is I look at what the Most High is going to do, and we have to have some sort of heavenly vision. We should be saying, well, at least they talked. When it get down to the actual who gets what, we'll make sure that At least I know I'm gonna make sure I get mine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The main thing is though, we have the Most High says in His Word, "I'm preparing a place for you," and all of a sudden we got some people saying they prepared a place for us. Sixth region, whatever you want to call it, it's a place has been prepared for us. I see things lining up scripture. I don't see what happened because they've been through their punishment, and at the end of the day, they got to give to us too. We're gonna have the whole world's resources, everybody.
Hey,
We're gonna so much we ain't got to worry about who gets what and what we got and when whatever it is it coming to me. He said they're gonna ooze out there riches. We're gonna ooze. They're gonna be oozing right into our hands.
Indeed. Go ahead, Josiah.
yeah, I just fail to understand why any black person would be speaking against this, regardless if they identify as an Israelite or not. I think this is the work of the Most High to get the world's attention on us. And my question would be is why not? Why is the African Union pursuing reparations in 2025 after Americans itself acknowledged the 400 years of slavery for African Americans 2019? It seems like everything is coming together, and I think we should just be sitting back and watching and not be trying to figure this thing out because the Most High is making it clear for us. Why now?
Yeah.
When you look at the African Union, look at what we're looking at, what we see on the screen. This is ideas on everything right here, y'all. So what they did, and that's why the sister Enum got mad at their brother, because he said, "Hey, I didn't say they weren't trying to steal the money. All I'm saying, this is right here is idea. We don't even have the money yet." And that's why they got really upset because all you seeing is different ideas on, racial healing. That's what they call it right here. When you look at for mainstreaming, reparation, developing policies, it was the promoting AU wide global engagement. And and this is the thing. What's the guy over there in that country, Burkina Faso? Now I heard somebody said that
Yeah,
he
sure.
joined AU, but however, he said on plenty of times that he want to unite Africa. It's the same thing, right? That's what the AU is. So Burkina Faso, I don't know, but he do want to unite Africa. So
And you know what that name mean, right? We talked
yeah,
about
go
it
ahead.
before.
And remember, our people are there.
Our
Everybody's
people.
not Hamites. And maybe Joel 3, maybe they asking for that policy. I mean that policy right here. You never know. The ones that are in the African Union that did sell us. But you never know. It's nothing to argue about. I don't understand people. That's crazy.
Hmm.
I say this. Just stay here then. When reparation comes, stay here.
That's it.
Stay your tail here.
Well, it ain't gonna be I don't think it's gonna be like that. I mean, you're not gonna have a choice. If you Israel, you gotta go. If you ain't dead already, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna
Uh-huh.
have to go. You ain't gonna have a choice. So it ain't I'm gonna stay and pray to the Most High. The Most High is right there, removing you, getting you up out of there. You know,
What do the prophecies say about us? Where are we going, y'all? We going somewhere in Africa. So why in the world will you build envy and strife on that? That don't even make sense.
but I can understand why people are stirred up because of how it looks or how they making it seem,
Mm-hmm.
because it make it seem like they being shady, and even if they are being shady, it's gonna work out in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can say that with full confidence because what the scriptures is assuring us of. But you know, I can understand, at the same time why our people are stirred up because it's causing a rift between us here and the brothers and sisters on the continent. It's already enough tension because of a misunderstanding. we don't even realize that the very people that's afflicting us and has oppressed us for the past 400 plus years are the same people that have their lands and territories colonized. You see what I'm saying? And they're playing the middleman in this, having us contending with them over this and that. And so whatever they have planned, it's going to work out in our favor, man. At this point, everything is pointing to us returning back to where we belong and us being identified as a true people. And as long as they hold it back, the judgment is going to get more severe.
Yeah, but even in the history of Israel, we can see a pattern of Israel will return home from captivity, and the Lord our God will cause our enemies to amend us upon our return. We can see that in Egypt. We can see that with Babylon, with Cyrus. So it's down to come, because that which shall be, that which is done, is that which shall be.
Yeah.
Not only that, like I say, we're getting to see. If I'm living in the moment, and if you allow yourself to live in the moment, you get to see how the Most High is moving on our behalf. It reminds me of a time when I got my first house, and me and the guy, we came up with the deal. He gonna pay closing. I was gonna do a few repairs and get the house. Come to find out, this dude got two sets of paperwork. He had two contracts, and he tried to slip me the other one and say I had to pay $10,000 when we got there. Turned around, I signed that junk, and right there was looking. He was stopping there looking at me, and they was waiting for the money for the check. And he said he has to pay. They said, no, you don't. You have to pay. That's your signature. I messed around and I came in there broke and left with $250.
Damn. That's messed up. That's messed up. I mean, you came out good. That's messed up how you try to do that.
Yeah, he tried to OG joke for me. I was like, that's crazy. And the Most High switched it right back on him. It was wild. But that's what I'm saying. But that's how these plans will go, no matter what. He said no weapons formed against you shall prosper. I say hallelujah, because now, like I say, they're talking about us getting up out of here with some reparations. I ain't looking at all the details in between, because the scripture, the word said that it's coming to us.
Right.
So
And then we have to look at what form of currency that's going to be in. The scriptures say silver and gold. Isaiah 60 talk about, matter of fact, let me just quote it real quick. It say, who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves in their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from afar, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh thy Elohim, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. So we coming back with something. You know what I mean? The currency we see biblically is silver and gold. Right now, everybody talking dollars, but we know that we're leaving with what's owed to us. You know what I mean?
Y'all want to play a little more? So you ready to go in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, for you.
It's my whole life. Been around politicians my entire life. My mom used to be a consultant for politics. So this verbiage, right, for politicians, this verbiage right here, I don't have to talk to the African Union to understand what this verbiage means. This verbiage doesn't mean that the money, the collective funds are going to go to the individual and we're going to sit down and have a conversation. That the collective group believes that the money should be taken, put in a pot, and given to the member states to rebuild their economy. That's what number 4 says, mainstreaming reparations, because I was going to go to number 4. Mainstreaming reparations. Do you know what that means, Jew?
I mean, I might have a different definition of you. What do you think it means?
Mainstreaming reparations means streamlining reparations, making that one everybody's individual reparations one complete pot,
Look,
and mainstreaming
mainstreaming don't
or
mean
development
streamlining.
policies, meaning
Pause it.
Yeah, why she trying to change the word?
Yeah,
Like,
mainstreaming does not mean streamlining. Streamlining means it will go to individual. Mainstreaming means it goes to everybody. That's what mainstreaming
what the
is.
hell
That's
wrong with her?
Main Street.
It just got a hatred for Africa. That's all it is.
And not only that, man, it's creating fear. It's creating doubt in the heart of our people because this is the next stage, or this is the stage that we waiting for. This is what he told us to do. Wait for the promise of his deliverance. And
Mm-hmm.
and and so that's what this is trying to prevent.
You can feel the hate when you the way she talking. And
For real.
this is the thing. Now, I would like to hear if Australian or France or even Great Britain come up talking about we're gonna get reparations and saying the same stuff. I guarantee you, y'all, they won't say nothing. How much you want to bet? I bet you they won't open their mouth. They'll act like they happy. This is because you got to think about it. America know what they did to us, right? If they're gonna be honest, I'm talking about they're gonna be honest. I don't know about that, but and give us reparations. What in the world you think they gonna give it to them for them to take our reparations? Come on, y'all. If they did that, they're gonna be in bigger shape they already in anyway.
Hey, Kadar, why would someone think that someone would take our reparation when we all come from the same continent?
Because they hate Africa. I
That,
think
that don't make any sense. Like, why would you even think that they? What scripture said they was somebody would steal our substance?
they don't say that.
So why are you? Why is she automatically assuming that
That's
that's
all
what's
she doing.
happening?
Mm-hmm. All right. Fair use.
your money is not going to be your money. Your money is going to tie to development policies.
Okay.
Equipping members to listen. You're
Okay.
talking and not listening. That's the problem. Equipped member states and regional economic communities to
You sure it's
integrate
not? You sure it's not
reparations.
Natalie?
You know what that means? That means the money, let's say they
No, she is. Go read the definition. Stop talking. You notice that
Right.
you doing everything like people want to read scriptures. They will just want to talk. She doing the same thing. Oh, my mother was something in the politician, whatever. I don't care about that. What they got to do with you?
Getting off the topic.
they give you some money, Jew, and you run over there. That means they finna take your money and integrate it into their plans for racial healings, into their strategies and programs.
Okay, let me just say this real
Let
quick.
me
So
finish. Dude, you're talking
oh,
and
okay,
you're not
okay,
listening.
okay.
You're too excited to run over there, and you'll be the first one
No,
that
no,
takes
no,
your money.
it's not like
Now
that. Okay.
listen to what I'm saying. What they're saying is they're going to take your money and implement it and integrate it into their strategies and into their
Okay.
relief funds and into their programs. That's
Into their
not your
programs.
money. So that's what. So you're good with that.
They're gonna implement it into their programs. Okay.
So you're
So
good with
that's
that.
what you're saying, right? That's
You're
not
good
that's
with
not what that's saying. That's not what it's saying. Can I tell
equipped
you what? That's not what it's saying.
member
Oh,
states
now
and
you just
regional.
explained what you just explained, Sister E.
This dude ain't listening. He just
Oh,
talking.
but
And
you gotta.
Now she cut him off because he was going to the definition, I believe.
Yeah, he's gonna read it. What it actually said.
Yeah. So she said, "Let me explain this, then you can talk or whatever." Now he's trying to talk. Look what she did. I don't know if she gonna bring her back on there or not, but that's she just gave her own definition of what they gonna do.
Mhm.
Y'all notice when Russia was doing all this, putting up the icons, right? Going over there, helping Africa. Did y'all hear any of these jokers? have anything negative to say about that, you better watch them. You know, they just doing that because they trying to gain power, which we know they are. Because we got scripture to say, if they be left, they God and may God. So that's what they doing. But did y'all hear anybody talking about that? Y'all notice that?
You know, I think I recall Teo and them doubting that when all those Russian icons came out. I could be mistaken, but I think I recall them expressing some doubt
Hmm.
towards that.
Hmm.
You
But
know, because
that's that Christian
they
spirit.
even they even questioned that Hitler statement, whether he
Yeah,
really made this statement or not.
Hotel.
Yeah,
yeah. Tell them do that for a
Why?
reason.
Why would Tell question that? All you Tell members. Why would he question that?
Because it's how all black people.
Because it's all black people. So let's let you know that he got to be like a half breed.
hmm.
Just saying.
Also, this. You remember when the war started, right? Tell them said the war was fake, y'all.
Yeah, I
Trick.
remember that too.
Yeah. So, and then he turned around and said, "Oh, see, did we tell y'all? You talking? They act like they want to be
Yeah.
prophets, so they don't want to be wrong. That's what it is."
So is she gonna let that guy back on, or she kicked him off for good?
I don't know. I don't know. Let me see.
You gotta
He's
understand,
not
sister.
listening, Miss
But you
Sister
gotta
E.
understand. You
To build unity here, kicked out of the studio. Goodbye, my dude. Back up here. I'm finna create order. He out. This nigga don't know what he talking about.
Hey,
can I finish
Sister
my
E.
point?
I'm gonna stop sharing. So I just want y'all to see what she did. So y'all see that they got really she got really mad at the dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, over they got she got really mad at the dude and wouldn't let the guy respond because all she did is give her own opinion. As yeah, he can't. Dude said he came back. She kicked him out again. She gave her own opinion on what the AU gonna do. Not one nothing because her mother was in politics, and that's what you have to go by. Now she sat there and said, "I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna let you talk, and then let the dude talk." So
Hmm.
just
Or
like
her
she,
mother was a professional liar. As
yeah,
the
she didn't want to
mother
read
told
that
the daughter.
definition.
Hmm. Wow, man. So what y'all think this is really all about, man? You know, because they pretty much created a war between the diaspora over this issue.
What are that name? FBA, FBA. Look at the name they calling
Oh,
themselves.
foundational black.
Yeah, they gonna end up not getting reparations. They keep
Here-
doing that.
Here's
Yeah.
what it is. What I see. I
No,
remember.
go ahead. Go ahead, Yash. My fault.
I remember a few years ago telling everybody about. I think we was on the damn Saw the Earth maybe, but I remember telling everybody when I had this vision and I seen our people over here. It was dark, and I seen our people over here, and they was like glowing. Everybody was glowing. Literally, there was a aura around everybody. And then after I seen that, and I looked, and next you know, I was over in Africa, and I seen the people over there glowing with the same aura. And I said, "Well, Lord, what does this mean?" And He said, "I'm bringing the two sticks together." Now I know that we have, you know, it's our people. It's over there like us, except the majority of the people is black. You know what I'm saying? We got our people, and we're mixed in with the heathen. But at the end of the day, that's what I see. I see the Most High bringing. See, I've seen that vision. That's why another reason why I'm passionate. I see the Most High bringing the two sticks together, and I see the spiritual realms fighting to keep that from happening.
So why would they go the route of uh, publicizing that they're going to dispense the funds in other places? Because like I say, I don't believe it's money. I believe it's like the scriptures say, the silver and the gold that could be that can be translated into whatever currency that'll be used. But I don't think it'll be money, because think about this: the scripture talks about uh, during the time of the kingdom, when the kingdom is established. At that same time, you know, the beast kingdom, they're gonna be working on their thing. So
Right.
what are we gonna be using as opposed to what they're gonna be? I don't even think they're gonna be using money at that time.
Everybody gonna have to come to us first of all, because there is gonna be nothing. There's gonna be nothing because we're gonna have everything, every single thing. So even when they're establishing their little kingdom and going on, at the end of the day, they all still got to come to us. That's why I say they're gonna want to all of a sudden come up there and say, "Let's take our shit back."
Yeah. It talk about your gates shall be open day and night continually, you know.
Continually, every day for 1,000 years, people bringing stuff to it. Every day.
I mean, think about that. What they bringing them Ben Franklins.
It has to be natural resources.
They bringing them Big Bens.
They bringing the resources because all the resources got to come to us, because we the only ones who have the knowledge hidden inside of us to rebuild the world.
Ain't that the reason how ain't that the way we're gonna be on above when we got all the resources, and then we can
Above
land back out.
only. Yeah.
So when they bring it to us, we can land and stuff back
Back
out.
out. Exactly.
Yep.
It's like our money, but we just keep it.
It's like the both of us, but you can just keep it down
Yeah,
at your
yeah,
house. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's how they go. You can keep it at our house.
I don't know. Brother T, where you send it to? I don't see it. Did you put it in the chat? If you put it in the chat, I'll put it up. I don't see it nowhere. Yeah, so I'm really trying to understand, you know, because it talk about, it says the wages of the laborers, which you held back by fraud, cried out. So what would make, I guess what I'm trying to say is what will make people think that in spite of what their intentions are, that it's gonna go down like that when we got the scriptures right here? They talking about allocating funds and money and everything. But what's gonna happen when, like right now, right? Is the dollar at a threat or is it not?
It's a threat.
We keep hearing about nations dropping the dollar. So how far along have we progressed with that? Is it, we know it hadn't happened yet, but what I'm saying is this is what nations are already doing and already have done. And many more are jumping in line with that based on what other nations are doing, nations that they tied to. So it's a currency shift. Why are we, like, I understand the tension part, right? But why are we upset at what they intend to do when the scriptures is telling us otherwise? Like I would say, okay, I would be upset just for the intent and the expressions that we getting from our brothers and sisters on the continent. And not all of them are talking crazy like that. Some of them are with the cause in terms of us being delivered and receiving what we're supposed to receive. And I always felt like our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, right, and Africa, they all deserve to be recompensed from Europe, Britain, and all those European nations as well. So we all deserve something for what we've been through as a whole. But I'm trying to see why we so upset about, this when we know what the scriptures say.
Like I said, it remind me of the ones who brought the evil report. When the Most High sent the when Moses sent the spies, sent them out to go spy out the land, and they're talking about we can't take it because it's giants in the land. After they say we can't take it because they're gonna give the money to other people and then the other people gonna give it to other people, and we ain't never gonna see no money. That's greed talking.
Well,
that's greed.
I agree with that too, somewhat. But at the same time, I'm looking at the same time, how do you go from nah, we not gonna give y'all reparations? Like, think about how many politicians, black politicians, have said that it's never gonna happen, right? You ain't gonna get it. To all of a sudden now we're gonna allocate it here. Like that's fraud, man. When you
that's fraud. Waste, fraud, and abuse.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying.
To a next.
I see what you're saying, E, because when all these black politicians and white turn their backs on them, we're getting, why don't we have the same backlash?
Right.
Why ain't nobody saying nothing about that? Why don't nobody say, I don't trust them Negroes. I don't trust them Europeans. This is sickness. Sickness. And you know what? Hey, you ain't even got the reparations yet.
Exactly. So
and basically, why, according to the scriptures, where are we supposed to end up at? It says it's going to take us back. Yosh, you talked about that earlier. Take us back from the place that we came. Did it say we're going to take us to Europe or Great Britain?
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
He's trying to raise you out of the place where you sold them.
Yeah.
But there's another one in Jeremiah. He tells you, right?
What we got sold?
Yeah, where I took you from, and you going right back there. He says it.
Yep. Brother T, you put that link in the chat. Put it in the chat of that video. Yeah, so it's like you go from one extreme to the next. You see what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never gonna get it. You know, you got people saying all kind of stuff like that. You know, Candace Owens, other black politicians. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna happen. Matter of fact, hold on.
You know what? You made a point. Now, Candace Owens and all them, right? But check this out. If you go on Pastor Kelly's channel every day, who is he showing, y'all? Candace Owens.
Her?
That's a coincidence. And what the sister, even me and Pastor Kelly, we read it word for word. You see this?
Yeah.
Y'all see this? And what do he use? He used who? Candace Owens. Come on, man.
I wonder what she had to say on reparations. And currently, this is an old video right here. Check this out.
I do not think that we deserve reparations for slavery. I was never a slave in this country, and I think that the idea, if you think that you're going to get more than 200 the government, okay, this entire debate is just it's. I do not think that we deserve reparations for slavery. I was never a slave in this country, and I think that the idea, if you're going to get more than $200 from the government, okay, this entire debate is just it's a joke, okay. It's never going to happen. Do you think that we're the only group, I'm just going to ask this question, that has had something awful happen to them in this country? What about the Jewish people? Should they get reparations for the Holocaust? And do you understand how slippery the slope is when you start saying reparations?
Yeah, you dummy. Hey, that girl dumb. Yeah, they get reparations.
I don't like this video.
Hey, you heard what she just said? She got
what you saying, son?
Like, What about the Jewish people? They get they get reparations. This girl's dumb.
What
You
you
heard
say?
that? Come on, man. My grandson know that. This woman dumb.
Josiah, what you said?
I said I don't like this video.
It's just funny how you said that, bro.
Josiah sound like he ready
I
to
know.
embarrass go up, ain't he?
He said,
I don't like this video.
I don't like this video.
For the Holocaust. And do you understand how slippery the slope is when you start saying
Y'all
reparations?
see what she asked?
Humanity. The slave trade used to be. Understand how slippery the slope? Should they get reparations for the Holocaust?
Y'all see what she asked?
Just question that has had something awful happen to them in this country. What about the Jewish people? Should they get reparations for the Holocaust? And do you understand how slippery the slope is when you start saying reparations? Beginning of humanity. The slave trade used to be legal in the UK. They decided to give reparations when they abolished it. You know who they gave reparations to? The slave owners, because black people were their property.
Her people was
legally.
enslaved. Hold up.
So when they
her people was enslaved in the islands, man. Golly. Her people from the transatlantic trade. People have to be slave in America. We ain't gonna just get reparations from America. It's from wherever we was enslaved.
Exactly.
Look,
of course, we have enslaved in this country.
This just proved that the description is true. Isaiah says none say restore. That's including our people too. That don't make no damn sense.
I seen a video one time, and I pray to the Most High I could find this video, but it was this Jewish lady, and she talked about her grandparents and the Holocaust and everything, and how they fled. Somehow, a lot of her family passed away, but she said they fled, and she said when they got here, well, before they got here, that they got money from where is that? From Germany. And she said that her and her family got money from the United States as well. And she said that without that money, they wouldn't have been able to generate the wealth that her and her family has today. Can you believe that? Reparations money. Now, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. Now, this is another thing. Candace Owens, I'm not mistaken, they from Jamaican area, the islands, right?
Yeah.
All right. What was Jamaicans and the islanders doing when Queen Elizabeth died, y'all? What was they doing? Y'all remember?
They was crying for her.
Crying for reparations. The same thing. I don't want. Come on, bro. Come on.
They were saying then about some of the possessions she had that they wanted her to return them. I forget what was that. One of the gold rings she had, something like that. They wanted her to return it. They were telling her to return everything, and it was a big conflict behind that. I remember that.
they got rid of it, they gave them reparations. The point is that no matter where you go in history, someone was oppressed. You cannot look to correct history by thinking that you're going to get a small check, because every single person in this room would get a check. It's just a means for them to seize you emotionally.
Who said small? And who said check?
That's what I'm talking about.
We said everything.
How do these people get these platforms that don't know history? She said the Jewish people, they get reparation for the Holocaust. Y'all heard that?
Listen.
Did y'all heard that?
Husband, yeah, but that's her because she married. Like I said, her husband.
She married to a Jewish man.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say something that stupid? Come on, man.
For that money?
I would.
She did.
Huh?
She's denying the effects of slavery. So we don't deserve reparation because I wasn't. That's the typical white man of a Negro in America.
She denying the effects of slavery while showing the effects at the same time. She's doing the impossible.
I would love to have a conversation with her on that. I would say, what group of people that you know was scattered and sold as cattle as slavery? Because you said everybody been around the word slave. Show me that.
Yep.
That
That's
kid,
another. Yeah, that's another lame ass talking point. You
Yep.
know,
yeah,
because this is the thing we talking about here in America. What other group of people have suffered captivity, slavery, and oppression here in America besides us? Can y'all name one? I mean, the Native Americans,
yeah. I don't know. I can't name one.
right? But didn't they? Okay, go ahead and throw them in there. But didn't they enslave our people too?
Yep.
Didn't they help the white slave owners fetch down black slaves who escaped and torture
Actually,
them?
that was the
And how
last.
much
That was the last one to let us go from chattel slavery. If you remember that.
they paid them too? They paid the Indians to track us down. They paid them, should I say?
Yep. This that video brother T sent me. Let's see what this about. I haven't seen this. Mr. Eric Phillips, chair of Guyana Reparations Committee and vice chair of CARICOM Reparations. But let's see what this is about. It's about 5 minutes. Fair use.
My name is Eric Phillips. I'm the chairman of the Guyana Reparations Committee and the vice chair of the CARICOM Reparations Commission. It's my pleasure to be here today at the African Dialogue series. Let us be clear. The African Union's decision to name 2025 the Year of Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through reparations is one of the most transformative political acts of the 21st century. For the first time, the African continent, through its highest multilateral body, has aligned unequivocally with the cause of reparatory justice. This is not only historic, it is strategic, legal, and unstoppable. It signals to Europe and the wider world the age of impunity is over. The era of accountability has begun. Under this year's sub-theme 3, Building the Future, Healing and Reparations Towards Socio-Economic Justice, we speak not only of redress, but of rebuilding. And to build forward, we must name the harms. In 1825, France forced Haiti, the first Black republic, to pay 150 gold million francs in reparations to former slaveholders. That debt was paid until 1947. It was a crime, not a contract. In 1884, the Berlin Conference partitioned Africa among 14 European empires. It erased cultures, created artificial borders, and paved the way for resource theft that continues today. In 2001, the Durban Declaration and Program of Action affirmed slavery and colonization were crimes against humanity. Yet 24 years later, no European country has paid monetary reparations. These injustices were not just immoral, they were legal violations, violations of jus cogens in the highest category of international law, and there are continuing wrongs even today. These harms persist today and are visible in the debt to GDP ratio of CARICOM states exceeding 100%, the technological marginalization of African descendant nations, and the systemic racial wealth gap that is global. Let me share some of our historical actions in CARICOM.
Hold on, before he continue, he said it was a legal thing, right? And you heard Candace Owens mention that slavery was legal. So I think they using that as a justification. And then if you go back to the papal bull, right, from the Pope about them being able to enslave certain people, a certain demographic of people. Y'all think they leaning on that as a justification to not have to pay?
I think they are. Come on, because if slavery was legal, right? Bombing Japan, was that legal after they bombed Pearl Harbor first? But they gave them reparations, didn't they?
I think they are, and I think they're using it as an unspoken thing. You know, even though a lot of people may not even be aware of that, we're aware of it, but it's still documented. You know, so and if you listen to a lot of our own people, they use that as a justification that it was legal. My thing is this: in some states, prostitution is legal, right? In some states, some places, things that are immoral are made legal. But does that justify it? And that's
Same-sex marriage.
is legal, right?
Yep.
Some places. That's the burden of us being in this captivity in the hands of our enemies. Because how the nations operate don't change how the Most High conducts things from the heavenly's tablets. You know, you got a Supreme Court here in the earth, right? You got all these judicial systems, but then you got a heavenly court that judges on different merits, different standards than an earthly court. But I just thought that was interesting how he mentioned that, because when he mentioned that, I'm like, damn, okay, maybe they using that as a means to justify not paying, however, not really mentioning it. You don't really hear many white people mention that slavery was legal or that it was justified religiously.
2013, CARICOM launched a reparations commission and adopted a 10-point plan. In 2022, Ghana co-hosted the Africa Diaspora Summit on Reparations, leading to the Accra Declaration on Racial Healing. In 2023, the Accra Reparations Conference, co-convened by the AU and Ghana, brought together heads of states from Africa and the Caribbean and United Nations, scholars, activists, and civil society. Together, we called for a multilateral reparations framework and a global reparations fund. So what does building our future look like? Imagine canceling colonial debt, funding health with it, education and infrastructure. Imagine transferring technology to end knowledge apartheid and enable sovereignty in AI, biotech, and green energy. Imagine securing land rights. Imagine reparatory finance, capital to rebuild health, education, and infrastructure. Imagine access to global credit on equal terms without the racist Africa risk freedom. Imagine cultural and historical restitution, including repatriation of stolen artifacts and ancestral remains. Now think about this for a moment. Africa holds over 60% of the world's remaining arable land, 40% of global gold, 90% of platinum reserves, and has a median age of just 19.2 years. This is not a continent of deficiency. This is not a continent in need of pity. This is a continent ready to lead reparations and to bring the bridge of healing to the rest of the world and regrounding ourselves. What is our call to action? With the African Union and CARICOM united, we're now a global front powered by 1.5 billion descendants of the enslaved and colonized. We're no longer asking politely. We're building legally, economically, and politically. Let 2025 be remembered not as the year we asked for reparations, but the year we began delivering them. We're not victims of history. We are the authors of justice, the Africa we want, the Caribbean we fight for. The future we owe to our ancestors begins now. Thank you. I'm so proud to be part of this event.
Shout out to Brother T. What y'all think about that?
Man, somebody got to interpret that dude. I can't say everything.
Yes, that sounded good to me. Especially when he said, let 2025 be the year of reparations, because we got to realize the only nations who really got the resources, or who has the most resources in the whole wide world, is Africa. Europe depends on them. The U.S. depends on them. If Africa ain't feeding, they ain't eating.
Yeah.
That sounded good to me.
Kadar say he need an interpreter. He don't speak African.
No, his accent was killing me. I couldn't really hear
I was
anything.
gonna say the same thing. I ain't really hear too much from him either. But
I heard the
whatever.
last part. I think I got that when he's talking about year 2025 and the African Union.
Yeah.
So is he saying that we should? Was he trying to say that they should repay reparations, or the world should repay reparations to Africa and the descendants that scattered? Is that what he's trying to say?
That's basically what he was saying.
Okay, I thought so. I was just trying to make sure.
But in any case, he's speaking of the wholeness of the continent, how it holds, it said 40% of the world's gold, right? 90% of the world's platinum. And it said that the median age of Africa is 19 years. So you got more youth on the continent, a lot of youth on the continent, which means what? Longevity, learning, understanding, educating people, and building up the continent, basically. So he wasn't excluding us. He was speaking more so of a holistic restoration of the continent, with us returning.
Well, check this out. Remember, y'all, and this is the thing, and this is what I want people to think about. This going against, that the AU is talking about reparations. Where are we supposed to go back to? Africa, right?
Yeah.
Why is people missing this?
Well, this is what it says exactly. I'm gonna go there.
All right.
Let me see. Where is that? Is it? I think it's Jeremiah. Is it Jeremiah? I think it's Jeremiah 29. I think. Let me see. Okay, watch this. This is what it says exactly. It's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, he said 60% of arable land. Like, that's a huge continent. But it's funny you mentioned that Deagle report, because I got that too. Let me see. This is what it say exactly right here. It say Jeremiah 29:14. It say, "And I will be found of you, said Yahweh, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, said Yahweh, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. Because ye have said, Yahweh had raised us up prophets in Babel." So where did he cause us to be carried away captive? That's talking about the continent, right? Where we Josiah. Chips.
Yep.
Chips.
Chips.
Yeah, all you gotta do is say ships, and brother Josiah knows what you're talking
about.
Yep. So if we going back to the place we came from, and AU is trying to look into reparation for the dispersed and the whole continent of Africa, what is the big argument? We know the Most High. If that happened, Most High have to be behind it. If we gonna get it, we gonna leave here with great substance. What is the big argument? It don't make sense. I don't know. They're gonna steal our money, but you plan on going there.
Right.
These people, boy, they don't look at scripture. They looking at feelings. I don't care who it is. If they bring it truth, it's truth. I don't dislike um Tail Ministry because I just dislike them. I don't like the stuff that he bring out because it's not true. But I don't dislike him. What you mean personally? I don't even know him personally. Dislike
You don't even know him
or
as a person.
Sheila or Sister E. I was going to say Sheila E. Sister E. I don't like her. I do know her, but I don't.
Oh, you know her?
Personally, yeah, I know her. I met her in person.
Oh.
I don't
You got
dislike.
because no mean to lay with her. So you gotta.
No,
Yeah, you gotta.
I don't know her like that.
You
So what I'm saying is that these people are in their feelings and they taking a personal feelings and they going against one another. I look, man, all these bro, like some of the camp guys, some of the truth they bring out. I'm like, okay, I don't dislike them personally. I don't think I'm looking for is truth. I ain't got time to be in some feelings personally with nobody. All I'm looking for is truth.
Yeah.
Right. And you owe me some wine, Kadar.
Y'all, I want to get married. Looking for a wife. Throw me some now.
Look at this. This that I'm looking at these population drops. Y'all know what this is, right? The Deagle forecast is saying that the population in the United States, well, this is of as of 2017, the population in the US was 316,440,000 people. And it's saying by 2025, the population is going to drop to 99,553,100. So this is basically forecasting what it's going to be once the shifts happen, once we start to leave, once everybody starts to flee and go back to their own lands and everything like that. So this is something to have on hand. I've been having this for a while. If you look at let me see. Look at Libya's population is supposed to be dropping. France. These are the European nations. I want to look at some of these Eastern nations. South Africa gonna have a 3 million population drop. How many of them Dutch is in South Africa? Do y'all know?
Probably about 3 million. Look at all of them.
So it looked like most of these nations is sort of being steadying out. If you look at South Africa, he says probably about 3 million or so. Let me see. This is a lot, man. These are a lot of nations. I'm trying to see if you look at I think it's right here. If you look at these nations, you see somewhat of an increase in populations. Let me see. New Guinea, Sudan is going to have this projected to have about a 6 million increase. Kenya looking at about 6 million increase. Now this is just a projection based on man and what they projected. I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like this. I think it'll be more, seeing how scattered we are. It was one, I forget. I'm trying to see if I can remember where it is. Zimbabwe gonna have a slight increase, 11%. Kenya gonna have a 14%. Sudan 16%. And then it says Lebanon is gonna have a 59.5% increase. So, like I said, I don't know how accurate this is, but this is sort of projecting what the population is going to be, how it's going to drop, here in the European nations, and then how it's going to increase in the other nations. The United States is said to have a 68.5% drop in population. Now, also, too, we know that a lot of these kingdoms still gonna be standing when we leave. A lot of these kingdoms still gonna be in operation because they're all gonna have to come under that last kingdom. Yeah, like Italy gonna have a 28% drop. There's a lot of them. Ukraine 29%. Austria, Belgium, Denmark. Let me see. So yeah, like I said, this is just our projections. Benin, they're gonna have a small drop. It look like South Africa 5.5% drop. Saudi Arabia 6% drop. But then these are the nations at the bottom that's supposed to be increasing. Mali, dang, I didn't mean to do that. Mali, you got Cape Verde, all these, and you start to see the increase here. Morocco, Chad, some of the South American countries, Uganda, look like Mexico gonna have a increase. Niger, Togo, and so all these nations, these are not European nations. Central African Republic, Rwanda, Nicaragua, Vietnam, that's not Africa, so to speak, but you got Nigeria, Gabon, Cambodia, Namibia, Zambia. All these nations are going to have increases. Mozambique, Panama, Senegal, Egypt, Yemen, Turkmenistan, Madagascar, Guatemala, that's South America. Guinea, Bissau, then you got the Philippines. So y'all get the point. This is just a projection anyway. And we in 2025 now. So we can be expecting to see some of this stuff starting to happen soon, man. But what y'all think? I think I got a video that's gonna really, really get y'all attention.
Seems like it's talking about when we go back, huh?
Yeah, that's talking about when
the increase.
Yeah. Let me see. I think I got something for y'all. I got a good one. Hold on.
You read that Jeremiah 29?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that in my arsenal. Yep.
Y'all ready for me to piss y'all off? Hit a 1 in the chat if y'all ready for me to piss y'all off. Y'all ready? If y'all want to get pissed off real quick in a good way, I'm going to do it anyway, whether y'all hit 1 or not. Fair use.
were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. You're talking about remedies. We've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. There were about three.
See, I knew y'all wanted to smoke. Look at all them ones in the chat. Trying to act like y'all nice. Y'all like getting pissed off. What y'all think about this?
That dude talking with a forky tongue, man. Is he really saying that with a white guy there, or is he saying that's what we really have to do? White people have to lose for us to come up.
Nah, he's saying that in order for the nation to move forward, why does there have to be a winner and a loser, basically? So basically with us,
because they've been winning for 400 years.
That's why I was wondering.
We do a win. That's why it should be winners and losers.
That's what the whole blessing and the curses is about.
That's
the
what
winners
they had.
and the losers.
400-year win. Every day they got up and won for 400 years. Every single day. And shoot, we ain't even doing nothing and they starting to lose. They crying like they losing.
Yep.
That's why it must be.
Yep. And don't y'all just love Dr. Phil, man, how he be sitting there looking and shit like he, like you.
With his smug ass.
Yeah, you sitting there like you learning something, man. This dude is really speaking for you. He's speaking for you. He's partially correct, but he's negating the cause of the breakdown of our community. Well, in a sense, okay, if you want to go back to their time, right? Who else speaks like him? Y'all know that dude, what's his name? Candace Owens loves to quote him. Thomas Sewell. Y'all know Thomas Sewell, right? He say the same thing. When I was growing up, I never heard a gunshot. I never heard any of this. I used to be able to sleep outside, and it's like, what does that have to do with anything? You have to sleep outside because why? Not because you wanted to. It's probably because it was too damn hot in the house. And in order for you to stay cool, you had to probably sleep outside. A lot of people did that back in the day. My grandmama did that.
You know what it is? After the
we slept
60s,
on the roof.
Yeah, after the 60s revolution, they gave all these. It's just like what was that movie? What's his name? They gave him. He said they marched down there and they gave him government jobs. All these monks, so they got money. They get paid. So they got theirs, and they ain't giving it. They're just like our ancestors, who at the crucifixion said, "His blood be upon us and our children's children forever." They got theirs, and they want to throw us under the bus. I'll never leave you, Master. You've been good to me. Damn our children. You know what I'm saying? It was all about them.
I don't understand what any of that has to do with the fact that America owes a debt. And that's why I say they're using things behind the scenes that they feel justifies them for it. Like when I hear black people say slavery was legal, I already automatically think a white talking point. That's something all white people want to say. So now you the spokesperson. But how do you go? Like, these are the type of conversations they stimulate to try to get us off of demanding it and requesting it. But how do you go from that extreme to now all of a sudden we're gonna allocate it this way? What's going on? Because those are the type of conversations they want to circulate, like what we just saw. How do you go from that to all of a sudden now this is how we're gonna do it? Let me see something here. Hold on. Hold up.
Alive deserves reparations. Have you heard that argument before? Closeted racists love to pretend that their only aversion to reparations is that the people who are alive today are, by their estimation, disqualified from receiving them because they weren't alive for the atrocities of the past. Well, meet Viola Fletcher. She's 108 years old and one of the last known survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921.
I'm here seeking justice, and I'm asking my country to acknowledge what happened in Tulsa in 1921.
And she's suing the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma for
checks notes,
literally providing the weapons used to bomb her community. White terrorists burned down buildings and killed at least 300 people in the community known as Black Wall Street, economically crippling the community for the last 101 years. She is clearly owed reparations, but the city of Tulsa is fighting back. In fact, they've been fighting her lawsuit for decades. Every year, fewer and fewer of the survivors remain. And it's hard for me to imagine that these people aren't just planning to kick the can of reparations and racial justice down the road until no one is alive to receive them. Perhaps Tulsa isn't the only place.
What y'all think about that? That's another talking point.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, y'all heard Candace Owens say that. You know, nobody alive today was a slave. Nobody alive today suffered anything. Right.
Bitch, and I'm like, speak for yourself.
And he's African
everybody's
American.
life.
And he African American, right?
Who that?
That guy.
Yeah.
The reason why they think this way is because of the mindset of the oppressors. They want us to think this way, and that's because they don't read the Bible. They want us to say these things. All be programmed to say the same thing and to forget about slavery.
I think it's the opposite. I mean, you're right, but it ain't because they don't read the Bible, it's they don't understand. And they want to love their oppressor. And they've been duped into believing if you don't forgive them unconditionally, then you won't go to heaven. They blind.
We got a bunch of programmed black people walking around here like computers.
She say, what I want to say, I can't. Well, put it in the chat. You ain't saying it.
You already said it.
Put it in the chat.
Freed the slaves in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation of Abraham Lincoln, but gave the slaves no land or nothing in reality, and as a matter of fact, to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery. And America freed.
So Dr. King, and I'm sure y'all seen that video, but just the obvious stance, you know, after slavery, nothing was given to the freed slaves. So a lot of them were pretty much forced to go back to the conditions that they was in prior through sharecropping and that type of thing. Nothing was done to recompense or to rehabilitate our people from that point up to this point. Hold on, I got another one.
And because to truly recompense us is to bring us back where you got us from, and not to actually let us live in your land. Because if you let us live in your land, we're going to come back to you for everything.
Right. And
that's obvious.
Exactly. So reparations is not even money, just money at all. You know, it's being restored back.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So by that definition, you can't say it's a handout.
We're still slaves, y'all.
That's stupid, man. That's how you know you can't really trust the person that's speaking when they say stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very disingenuous. That's fake and phony, man. And anybody saying that, you better repent, man, because you going against. Well, you're in the front of the Most High when you say stupid stuff like that.
Did they give the land? They built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farm. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
So that check. Basically, I'm showing all this to show that this is a continual grievance of our people from back then all the way up to now. And I always knew that it wouldn't go away. Now, all of a sudden, they done added another element in that to some people may or may not even be a real issue, but it's how they projecting it. You know, it's how they putting it out there. If you ask me, this is all it plays into the fraud aspect. I got one more. I know y'all gonna love this one. I just know it. Fair use.
I have no sympathy for anybody. You get what you deserve. Wherever it is that you are in life, that's your bed, sleep in it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you come from. I see immigrants coming over here every day from third world countries, outworking you, outpacing you, and making you look bad. I don't care about your reparations. Listen, I don't care if you ever get it. As a matter of fact, I'm advocating against it because it's going to fuck up my dollar and make inflation go out of control. And so I don't want them to pay you. I don't want you to have nothing. Don't give these motherfuckers nothing. As a matter of fact, not only do I not want you to get nothing from reparations, I think that they should tax you for breathing. Tax you for breathing this good old air that we working so hard and paying our tax dollars for in order to be able to make sure that you got this good old air and this good old water. There's people in Detroit. Shout out to my dog, Steph is cold. I'm reading super chats in a minute. There's people in Detroit right now that say that they deserve Water. They deserve clean water even if they don't pay for it. Says who? Back in the day, they had to go all the way over into the river and dig wells and filter the system themselves in order to make sure that all of their people.
I'm a little smack that beard off his face.
For real.
Who in the world is this clown?
A straight up cracker.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's all. He's a straight up cracker.
Water. Who said you deserved anything? Listen, I hope they don't give you a fucking dime. Now, as a matter of fact, if they create a I'm against reparations committee, I'm gonna be the first person to sign up and donate to it. You don't deserve nothing. You get what you negotiate. When did we start making weak men?
Somebody finally pissed off him.
Yeah, he talk about when did when did they start making weak men? When they made him.
This is the thing, though. People like to use that argument that foreigners are coming over here and outpacing us, right? My question is, what comparison or what are you comparing, and how do you determine that, right? How are you really determining that, and on what basis? We can say it's happening on the basis of us being under the divine curse. But y'all always hear me say black people ain't broke, man. It's a lot of black people out here that are working and doing okay for themselves. It's just the only thing that we don't have is the central mechanism of culture. So whatever we do have, it don't have no strength to it. You see what I'm saying? It's not powerful because it's not centered at nothing. So everything we do, we have to go outside of ourselves. How are you determining that outside of that? How are you determining that other people are outpacing us, and in what way? If you compare the top % of black people in America with whoever is coming over here thinking they outpacing or whatever, you won't see no comparison.
Exactly.
Because you would just even on a average sense, the average black American is doing better economically than any foreigner on average. They get to come in our communities and benefit off of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I never
that they wouldn't give us.
I never understood that. They're outpacing us, right? And the only thing you see is them coming up off of us. If they were outpacing us, you would have to judge that from a neutral stance of them. What are they doing outside of us that they're able to prosper in this country? Sure, they have their culture and they benefit within themselves, but every demographic of people benefit from us. 78 vets say her mama just paid cash for a brand new house and car. See? Now within any demographic, you got your poor, your middle class, and then you got your rich. How are people determining this? Like, statistically, we can see that we at the bottom. We can see all of that. But the only thing that we're missing that got us at the bottom is that central mechanism of culture. Culture is the true collateral. And I said it before, when you look at most people, most black, and this is just my theory, I could be wrong. Most black people who go to banks and get loans, even though you have upfront collateral, even though you got the most perfect business plan in the world, those people lending you that money they understand things demographically. So they looking at who's going to patronize this based on your demographic. You're offering something that your people are not interested in, especially if it's something beneficial or health wise or something like that. Most of our people are not interested in that stuff. So what do? They end up having to sell their ideas. They end up having to partner with other Gentiles to make money and to do things. And then what eventually happens if the company grows, the original person who came up with the idea, he gets weeded out or bought out or screwed over some kind of way because we don't have that mechanism of culture. So I don't understand that talking point. Y'all got any thoughts on that's his name, Anton Daniels? This is the same dude. He said this, but then he talked all of this nonsense about the foreigners coming over here getting benefits. And I'm sitting here saying, look, that's money that belongs to us. Like, I don't care how much money I had or whatever. That don't mean that I will reject what's owed to our people. You spitting in the face of your ancestors now.
They just forgetting about the slavery and the aftermath of it, like the wealth gap between Blacks American and white American. How you can even ask AI. AI will tell you that the wealth gap between Blacks in America is due to slavery and ongoing slavery.
Yeah, they know that. I mean, they understand that. They understand that. They just, well, I'm gonna put it like this: they know that, but they may not understand it.
We don't even just have to talk about slavery. We could talk about Jim Crow, redlining. And when you dig into redlining, what that is, really denying Black people housing and opportunities to do what white people do today, like inherit stuff. We don't get an inheritance. All we could do is inherit slavery.
Yep. See, they've been playing this house flipping game ever since back then, where you can buy a home, you can live in that home for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then what you do after that, you pull the equity out of that house, and you take the equity and you go buy another property, or you do something like that. They've been doing that for years, bro, and now everybody acting like that's just some new thing. But that's what we've been held back from.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you hear Black people explaining that part, notice they always say, this is what the rich been doing, or this is what the rich do. Well, it's the game, then the well done ran dry now. You see?
The scriptures even talk about how the rich has to oppress the poor to stay rich.
Yeah. Have to.
They have to.
Otherwise, we will all be what?
Equal. Or they, to be honest with you, bro, they actually fear us ruling over us because that's actually their position, our position. And they know that.
Yep. Say our people can't see this country fall in Egypt, so they are willing to ignore the sign. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's why I say, my trust is in what's written, man. All this really just to like how we read. I'm gonna put it up again because this is exactly what's happening between us. This is exactly what's happening. And I'm gonna just read this last part of it. And hold on. It's in James. In James chapter 5, he said, be ye also patient, and establish your hearts, for the coming of Adonai draweth nigh. Then it says, grudge not one against another. lest ye be condemned. Y'all ever notice our enemies try to put us in positions that go against biblical principles? Like we know and understand the commandments, but it's a lot of other biblical principles that if we go against them, it'll have an effect on us as if we are breaking the commandments. And so now you got brothers here in America grudging against brothers and sisters on the continent because a lot of them are indifferent towards us. You know, even without this issue, that's just the mindset. So you add this element in there, and now we see this spirit between us and the people on the continent when we don't even fully understand what's finna happen in terms of what they trying to do. They haven't fully laid that out yet, but this is the spirit we dealing with. Got us thinking that they finna give our reparations to other people, and what's supposed to happen if that happens. You know, I think America owes Africa. Yeah, they do. Europe owes Africa. So this could very well be a ploy, man, just to have us grudging against each other. You never know. Because ain't nothing gonna change what the scripture said. What y'all think?
I think let me read this real quick. 1 Samuel 2:6. It says, "The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave, and he bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor, and he maketh rich. He bringeth low, and he lifteth up. He raised the poor out of the dust, and lift up the beggar among the dunghill, to set them among princes, to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them." And when we go to James, back to James 2:5, he says, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him?" He said, "But you have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat?"
Yep. Say, do not rich men judge you and bring you for the judgment seat. And who is that happening to? That's talking about us.
The poor of his people. Isaiah 14:32.
See? So I don't doubt that, it's gonna go down the way it's written. You know what I mean? And I don't want us to fall into this trap of begrudging. Like when we see this stuff, we gotta quote the scriptures, man. Let people know this is what the scriptures say. Off top. Regardless. Yeah, y'all, it might be wrong what y'all thinking or what y'all trying to do. We don't know. But this is what the scriptures is saying. That's what we standing on. What's up, Kadar?
What was that you was asking earlier? And Josiah just answered then.
Now I was asking what y'all thought about that scripture about grudge not one against another. And I was saying that all this could be an attempt to start that between us and people on the continent.
Yeah, conquer and divide, same thing they've been doing to us. Yep. I mean, they doing a good job because you got people in Israel act like they literally hate Africa. I mean, that's man. When you look at Sheila, I keep wanting to call her Sheila, Sister E, going off, and literally like, do you realize that's the place of your supposed to be the place of your rest? I don't understand why they're not thinking about that the way she was going off. So yeah, and also it goes with the scripture Isaiah 11. We're gonna have to come together, Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. Right
Yeah,
now, still fighting.
yeah. What you think, brother Yash?
Yeah, that's how they've always done things, man. That's how they got us here. They when they went over there to the land, they went there, got familiar with the people, and then they began to spread lies. And then they gave one side weapons and the other side not. And, not. And they and but and through their lies and through their treachery and through their deceit, they got them, to go to war. And then they would go ahead and once they killed off all the parents, they was free to take the children. That's their MO. Go there, feign friendship, lie, deceive you, and and get everybody fighting against one another while they in there stealing, taking the spoils, saying your friend. It's the actual, excuse me, the absolute work of devilishness. That's what it is. And we got and we got people like you say, the brother Antoine Daniels. I mean, at least I give him the respect that he admitted that he get paid to hold our people down. At least he admitted. He said y'all get him racism, it's gonna mess up my money. In other words, he said my job is the anything good coming to y'all. My job is to make sure that it don't have to talk against it with all my might.
I don't respect that nigga, man. Screw that
I don't
nigga.
respect him at all. I respect the fact that at least he told the truth. That's it. I don't respect him at all. He's less than a person. What they call him? Pond scum.
I don't respect nothing about that nigga, man. If he,
Mm-mm.
stuff like that, when you think about the Maccabees, right? When Judas Maccabees and all them stood up and said, "Look, we gonna fight back. We not gonna make covenants with them." And they seen one of their own basically. Okay, after they said that, it said that basically they seen one of their own go up and make a sacrifice on the altar to the other guy. And what they do?
Went over there and they took his ass.
They went over there and they got rid of that fool.
Let him know.
I'm saying people like that, that's what they deserve.
Oh yeah, to
If
be
he,
frustrated.
and I'm gonna be fair, that's if he don't repent. See, people like that, stuff gotta happen, man, drastically for them to have their eyes open. So that's if he don't repent, man. On
Okay,
the
and
day,
even then, look at Candace Owens. Much drastic stuff happened to her, and she was literally given the truth, and she used it to make merchandise while still holding on, because she must love that man. He must got so good. He must be one of them different right. Stop, because she's something different.
he sleep. Yeah. See, I saw firsthand when I visited Ghana, they treat the devil better than us. Ain't that the truth? He said Antoine is Black MAGA. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go in a minute. But yeah, man, like we see all of this is just really to stir us up and to take our attention off what the scriptures say, man. It's saying Job that they're not gonna be able to perform their enterprise. If this is a motive behind this negative mode, they're not gonna be able to perform it. And we don't even have to have all the answers as to how it's gonna happen every step along the way. because that'll have us in fear too. You know what I'm saying? Frustrated and stressed because, you know, it's by design basically. They in our heads right now. You got people over the continent saying it's war against Black Americans. You know, now people saying we're gonna boycott African businesses. You know, which I think is some fairness to that. Anybody who can disrespect us and you know do us how they do shouldn't deserve our patronage. Hell, a Negro that do that, you won't go back to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening, man. Y'all got any more thoughts? Your mic messing up, Kadar. Said we couldn't even bring up white people on the slave tour, even though. Your mic messing up, Kadar. So they put fear and reverence in them. I went there to try to wake them up. Say please, yeah, hit the like button and subscribe and everything. Appreciate that, bro. Both channels.
And but you know what? Go back to that point though, where he said they put fear and reverence in them. You know, and that's the reason why we're starting to see them waking up now. The Most High is we actually see the Most High waking some of them up. You know, waking them up to the fact of what happened to them.
Yeah.
And many of them people are already gone. But yeah, they bad, man. They bad. They worship the white man big time. Remember that mother, the white man punching them, they running. I mean, these people are sick.
Yep. Indeed, man. But you know, it still remains to be seen how this works out. You know, I would say just trusting what's written and just lead the rest to the Most High, you know, because he already said that basically we won't be able to imagine or think of how this is going to be, you know. So we just got to stand on the trust in what's written. That's how it's going to be, how it's written. And when we experience it, it's going to be fully how it's written. He even tell us how we going to react. So that's why we can trust in that, you know, and let's just keep praying for each other. Keep praying for each other, man. Pray that more of our people wake up so that we could start fellowshipping again and uniting with our families and everything again. Because this is, it's tough, man, you know, and we count it all joy, but it's hard you being the only one in your family with your eyes open and everybody else just still, you know, doing whatever, contending with you, you know, and you can't beat it into them. So you really just gotta pray and just live and be an example the best you can, you know, or just be wise for yourself. Scriptures say he who will be wise should be wise for himself, you know. But just pray for our people, man, because, you know, we all got family. We all want to see our family on one accord, loving each other. Brotherhood, brothers loving each other, sisters loving each other. And that's just something we haven't seen yet. That's something we're not even used to. The type of love that our people had, you know, how you read about Jubilees, how all the brothers was on one accord and everybody loved one another. That's something we haven't seen yet. We're not used to that. But that's, in the eyes of the Most High, that's the norm for us, or it should be. See, we're not used to that. And it's a whole lot of things that's normal to us that we're not aware of, that we're not used to. See, we're not used to being able to access the Most High in the drop of a dime, or to have spirits under our command, Holy Spirits under our command. But that's normal. We've been separated from normal. The stuff they show us on TV and entertain us with, that's normal to us. We just got to be brought back to the norm, man. And the Most High gonna do it in due time, soon. You know what I'm saying? We just got to keep holding it down, keep representing what's real and the truth. You know, and I pray the Most High continue to strengthen us day by day.
Oh, most definitely.
For real, man. I'm gonna shut it down, but to the people in the chat, you know, all praise to the Most High. Shalom to y'all. Like I say, we had over 1,000 subs on Resurrecting the Truth, so that's a good thing. And we like 5 or 6 subs short on T.I.R. of 1,000. And so we trying to get both of the channels, you know, over 1,000, so we can really start, you know, doing some things. And, you know, money wise and everything, ain't nothing really big going on, but this is how I see it, money wise. If it gets to that point, you know, we can start distributing some of that to the brothers on the panel, to some of the mods. We can do more giveaways and stuff like that to make our fellowship more wholesome. And we want y'all to get more involved too. When we put the link out, start chiming in and letting your voice be heard on some of these truths. Share what the Most High putting in your heart. If the Most High waking all of our people up, then it should be more than us just on here speaking and have something to say.
Most definitely.
When we open up the panel, man, y'all take advantage of that. Show some love and let the people hear what you have to say. Don't be a squatter in the chat. Y'all go to some of these other platforms and y'all sub, like, chime in, do it here. We want to hear you too. We got love for you too. We got real love for you though. So I'm gonna shut down on that note, man. Much love to y'all. Once again, go check out the website too, trueebry.com.
Hey, put that link in the chat for her, for T.I.R.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Because a lot of people say they can't find it, you know. But here it is in the chat. We streaming to both channels, so whatever side you on, that's the link. So check that out. She said, do you what that mean? I think she made it asking me if I'm on TikTok. We have a TikTok now. I'm trying to work on being able to stream to it here. I may have to start another one, but we do have one. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it connected with the StreamYard. But in the case we do get it going, y'all will be alerted about that as well. So yeah, what y'all brothers got, man? Let them have it.
Oh, none too much. I'm about to get ready to eat. Israel will be receiving reparation in just a matter of time, as it's written in the scriptures. The part about it is we're gonna receive the reparation when we come out, just like the other captivities. Shalom to the brothers, and all praise to the Most High. Shalom.
Indeed.
Yeah, and all I want to say is, whose report are you going to believe? You know what I mean? We got to realize that the Most High is doing something, and if it's lining up with the word, I'm not worrying about the players or everything that's happening in the middle or even what it looks like, because, like I said, nothing is happening the way we expected. Nothing at all. And he's always coming in with a new rope a dope, a new something, he's keeping it exciting. And things are moving at lightning speed. And I listen, I like the fact that he said, look, we committed to doing this in 2025. And what it is that they know that Europe and the US, they know that, or the Western powers that rule, they know that they're falling down. They know that they have all the resources of the world, and it's expected that once these European powers fall, with the US included, that Africa is has to step up to the plate. And it looks as if they're doing it in anticipation, or leading by example. They showing us like, well, when we get in charge, the first thing we're gonna do is, uh, first of all, get y'all out of that land and give y'all reparations. All I'm saying, this sounds good to me, and I don't think that we should be having any type of alarm or panic when the news is really about us, when it's showing that the world is at least speaking and actively working on a plan to give us reparations. How it comes and all that, they can say whatever they want. The scriptures already told us that it's going to be silver and gold and cattle and everything. Steel, copper, everything. Everything. All we need to know is that, or all that we need to do is actually see that the Most High has the rest of the world coming in place. We know Babylon, they ain't gonna do it. That's why Babylon gotta be destroyed. We gotta literally take stuff from there. We gotta take it. But the rest is gonna be given to us. Sound like good news to me. That's all I'm saying. Shalom.
Indeed. Well, thank you, brothers, man, for coming on as always. Shout out to brother Kadar. His sound went out, so shout out to him. Shout out to the other brothers as well. We all we have to do now is just keep our eyes peeled, keep studying, and just keep watching the Most High do things, on our behalf. I anticipate more of an awakening in our people, because part of our reparations as well is us being restored to who we are. That's the most important thing outside of any dollar amount or anything like that. We got to be restored back to who we are. Who we are entails what we should have and where we should be wealth wise and everything, because the Bible tells us that. Who we are tells us that we should be on top. above all nations. So that's what we got to focus on, getting back to who we are, understanding who the Most High is and crying out to him, and the rest of that will fall in place. It'll fall in place. He'll raise up the right representatives if need be to speak and to say the things that need to be said so that the world can hear, because the world has to understand who we are and they have to accept it. Right now, they're not accepting it. But he said, I'm going to make your seed known among the nations where I have scattered you. So not only do they have to give it up, they have to acknowledge who we are. That we are the people of the Most High, that we are the ones who he blessed and cursed. And now he's restoring us and bringing us back. They have to acknowledge that. Just like we have to acknowledge our errors and the errors of our forefathers. You have to acknowledge it. See, the Most High say, before I do anything, you gotta acknowledge, right? He who comes to the Most High must first know that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. First things first, in other words. So we're gonna shut it down. All praise to the Most High once again. Like I said, if y'all haven't already subscribed to Resurrecting the Truth as well as T.I.R, and we're going to keep doing what we do. Glad y'all can hang in there with us. Much love to y'all. Blessings to y'all for that. And we're going to see y'all on the next. Shalom.
Where our people suffering. They're looking for something to look up to. They're looking for a change. How long?